Hello, and welcome to a Cityworks demonstration. Today our scenario will be on reactive maintenance for facilities HVAC. In this particular case, a boiler repair. We're going to be starting off as the role of our office clerk here, who will create a service request within Cityworks to report the problem. From there, it's going to be picked up by our facility supervisor, who's going to review the request that came in and create a related work order. From here, we're going to go ahead and assign it to our field worker, who's going to go out to the field and complete the work using the Cityworks mobile app. Once completed, it'll be picked up again by the office supervisor, review it, and close it. Once closed, the person who submitted the request will receive notification. Switching to the role of our office clerk here, I'm going to go ahead and create a service request. I'm going to use my create menu item and select service request. I can go ahead and populate some caller information, such as the current time I'm reporting this problem, my first name, and last name. On the right hand side, I'm going to specify my request type, so I'm going to indicate HVAC here, and that's a heating and cooling problem. Next, the system will ask me some questions based on the observation rules I've set up in the service request template. I'll indicate where the issue is, the Memorial Arena lunchroom, and answer the subsequent questions that come. I'll indicate this is a heating problem since it's related to the boiler, and the temperature variance is about more than 5 degrees from the norm. I'll hit complete and submit my service request. Here we can see my service request has been submitted and it now has a number. Switching to the role of our facility supervisor, I have a dashboard here that monitors all service requests that have come in. So I see that one that we just submitted as our office clerk here. I'm going to go ahead and open it up and view the details. So from here I can actually see what the description is of the problem, the priority based on the observations captured in the service request. If I expand comments here, I can see the caller as well as some of the observations that were captured through some of the questions here. So I know it's in Memorial Arena. This is enough information for me to go ahead and create a related work order. So going back to my dashboard here, I'm going to go ahead and switch to my facility list dashboard. And this lists all my facilities so I can interact with them from here. So first thing I'm going to do is search for Memorial Arena. I'm going to open this up in asset details so I can view all the related assets to this parent asset. So going to the related assets tab, I can see my parent asset here is my Memorial Arena municipal building, and I can see all the subsequent child assets here. So since this is a heating issue, I'm going to go ahead and select all these heating boilers. Let's go ahead and create a work order from these. And I want to create a single work order that includes all these assets, but I do have the ability to create a work order for each asset. Now, what type of work order will I select for these assets? I want to do an HVAC investigation. So send someone out there to determine which of these assets is causing this problem. From here, I can actually just include who I want to submit this work order to. From here, I'll just leave it as Felix for now. Let's go ahead and create that one work order. All right, work order has been created. Next thing we need to do is link it to that service request. So using the link activity button here, I'm going to go ahead and filter this by service request. Now the system's smart and it has a recent section here. So I can actually select that recent service request that I just opened up. And then we'll click link activities here. And if I refresh my page now, You can see here now that that service request has now been linked. Let's switch gears to the role of the field worker. Here I am in Cityworks in the mobile app. I'm going to go ahead and open up my menu on the left-hand side and open up my inbox. You can see here I have categories to show inspections, service requests, and work orders assigned to this current user. If I expand work orders, I can see that HVAC investigation work order that we created on the desktop as a supervisor. Let's go ahead and open it up and see what information we have here. You can see here at the top the description. There is a pin here. If I click the pin to the right, it will pan to the location of where this work order is located, which is great for our more spatially aware users. Going back into the work order, let's assume we're already on site and we want to capture our start time. We'll go into actual start finish here and press start to get that timestamp. If I press it again when I'm completing my work, it'll grab the finish time as well. I'm just going to backdate this a couple hours just so it will look more realistic. Next, let's go ahead and view the labor. So you can see here I have no labor currently captured, but let's go ahead and resolve this by adding some labor. So you can see here I have all employees available in my crew, and an employee can be associated to multiple crews. So since it's just me, Felix here, I'm going to say this took about 2 hours. And then I can actually tie this labor to all the assets associated to the work order. So these hours will be split up. So here I'll just attach it to all these boilers and hit done. Alright, next let's go ahead and indicate what material we used. So here I can see all material I have available in the storeroom. And for example, the storeroom could be what we have in the utility truck and in the buckets. So let's go ahead and say we used one air filter here to repair one of these HVAC units. So I'll indicate this one over here was the only one that we required new material. Next, we're going to go into our equipment here, and we'll do the same. So we're going to indicate we took the Ford F-150 for 2 hours to complete the work here. And I'll tie the cost to all the HVAC units. Now that we've captured our labor, material, and equipment, let's go ahead and indicate our resolution here. So say at the end of all this, repairs have been made. And then we can actually add additional fields to a work order in custom fields. So let's say we want to capture the problem, the cause, and the remedy. So let's go ahead and capture why this problem happened. So we're going to say heating was just offline, and the cause we'll just say due to equipment failure, and the remedy was performing a repair. Going back to the work order, next we'll add an attachment, and I can use a photo, video, or anything on my device. So let's go ahead and choose an existing photo here, and I'll choose this one. Next, now that we're done, we're going to go ahead and mark this as complete, and then I'll hit sync to push my changes back to Cityworks. Now the app does function in an offline state, so users don't need to have a constant internet connection to complete work. They can just sync to receive work whenever they're on a stable connection, and sync to push changes back. So switching back to the role of the supervisor, I have a dashboard here for property management. This allows me to see all service requests, inspections, and work orders associated to facilities and what status they're currently in. So that work order we just completed upon creation would be in our work orders open panel here. But since it was completed, it moved over to our completed work orders ready to close section, which we can see here, and it now has a status of supervisor review. So let's open this up and review what the field worker completed in the field. So if I go ahead and scroll down here, I can see the actual start and finish that we populated on the mobile app has come through, and the resolution as well. If I expand my custom fields here, I can see the observations or answers that the field user inputted for these sections here. And if I expand details, I can see total costs for labor, material, and equipment here as well, and their grand total. So let's see what these are through a further breakdown. Let's go into our cost summary tab here at the top, And now I can get a breakdown of actual versus estimated costs here, and each of these line items. So in labor, I can see here Felix split his time up among these 3 assets. And scrolling down, I can see equipment costs that are tied to these assets as well, and the material that he used to complete repair on this one HVAC unit. Alright, so let's review the attachment as well. So I can see the attachment that was uploaded did get synced to the work order as well. So going back to the work order, I've completed my review and I'm happy to close this. So I can do so by clicking close on the top right of the work order. Now, upon close, the related service request should be closed as well. So let's go ahead and switch to the service request. And we can see here that the status has also been closed. And upon closing, we can have email triggers set up, so the submitter will receive a notification when this has been completed and resolved. Let's review what we've done today. So first, as the office clerk, we created a service request from within the system that was then picked up by our facility supervisor, who reviewed the request and created a work order. Once that was created, it was assigned to our field worker, who completed the work order using the mobile application. And once that was completed, it was picked up by the facility supervisor again, who reviewed the work order to view costs, close it, and once closed, it also closed the related service request, thus ending the whole loop. Thank you for watching this video. If you've had any questions, please feel free to reach out to Esri Canada or your local account manager. Thank you.